You see how the fish are being like corralled there, how the school kind of moves in these strange movements. What you're seeing right here is a result of that. It's a result of a large predator called a snook, which is one of Florida's top, and there's another one right there. Oftentimes these snook will work together to go after schools of bait like you're seeing right here, which is what we call pilchards down here. Kind of, I forget what they call it. You know, you have your own type of bait fish up in the north region, but our primary bait fish here is pilchards. And if you look, these wonderful, strange, beautiful patterns are created by the predators, the snook out there, and other predators kind of circling around these fish, and that's exactly what you're saying. But folks, this is not unlike what happens to us with the economic system and the political system out there. We are corralled by these large predators, which kind of push us in large groups to move in places, you know. Now, I would bet in this large group of fish that there's probably very few of them, maybe a small percent that doesn't follow the school there for some reason. And in the school, there is safety. You can't argue with that. But when you're in a situation like this, when you're surrounded by predators, and again, folks, this is the world we live in right now. We're surrounded by predators. It's not unlike these schools of fish right here. When you get take a look, there's another big snook, and again, you can see how they're corralling these bait fish. And that is exactly, oh, that's actually a tarpon just went by. Did you see him? A nice sized tarpon. Ooh, another wonderful fish. Beautiful evening out there in the underwater live cam at the Deerfield Pier right now. Just saw a nice sized tarpon and a bunch of snook here corralling the fish. And take a look at that. It's about feeding time for the snook. And they will corral these guys into the best situation they can to feed themselves. And that's exactly what you got going on out there in the political and the economic world. You got these large predators that are circling the general public, circling people out there, whether it's government with hiring new IRS agents, whether it's the, boy, what a great example of that too. Take a look, that's just beautiful to watch. These large, some of these are 3.5 feet long. These tarpon that you're saying, the snook that you're saying, but it's a good parallel to what we see out there, and that's exactly what major media does. That's exactly what our government currently does. That's what, or currently has been for quite some time. That's exactly what the so-called economic leaders out there, and the economic newspapers and the economic mouthpieces do. They're corralling you into a large group to feed themselves, more or less. Not unlike predators. I mean, there's three types of people out there. I've always talked about three types of people. There's producers, there's predators, and there's parasites. These guys are predators right here, all right? They'll do whatever it takes to feed. They'll move these large groups around. Predators are actually much smarter than what I call, oh my gosh, there's producers, predators, and the third one, losing my mind here, parasites. Predators are definitely far smarter than parasites, but parasites in their own way are pretty smart because they're able to lock onto something, lock onto some form of substance. But predators are all about growing large, all about getting more and more and more, that insatiable appetite. Parasites, maybe not so much. They have to live with their host and live within the means of their host, which would be government. That's where most of the parasites live within the government realms and the government paycheck. All right, well, I'm going to move along from here. Wow, I kind of stretched that out a little bit, didn't I? Markets are looking decidedly much better if you're concerned that we've been down in the dumps for quite some time with the price of gold and silver and platinum. Not we've been down in the dumps, but that, and I look at this from a different viewpoint, that we've been given the wonderful gift of having much lower gold and silver and precious metal, platinum prices via the crooked markets that we see. And I hope you've been able to take advantage of that, because the problem we got right now, folks, is I'm starting to see physical metals dry up, including the cheaper 1 ounce, 10 ounce, kilos, and 100 ounce bars that we've enjoyed for a little while, having cheaper prices on. It looks like delivery times are getting spread out. There appears to be a real genuine, and I think this has been going on for quite some time, a genuine lack of real physical silver out there. 1,000 ounce bar premiums are up, as well as the they're trying to fill, the BlackRock with their silver short position Ted Butler believes that they're trying to fill the physical short position that they have right now for SLV. That could be sucking up a lot of 1,000-ounce bars, along with retail demand, which is up quite a bit as well. 1751.98 currently. Gold never did quite make that sub $17 dip. Again, never underestimate these crooked markets. Could they try to take it below 17 at some point in the future? Yes, they could, but my gosh, I keep thinking that they run out of ammo, but they still manage. But never underestimate these crooks. Never underestimate them. But do understand this, that these crooks are manipulating a price of a commodity that's been around for 5,000 years and has a great track record. And so when they do that, just buy the frickin' dips. If you're already bought in, just go fishing, go do something. Don't panic and worry, oh, gold and silver's going to zero, or it's going to go way down. I'll never get. That's not true, folks. At the very least, you get wealth preservation. And I think that you are going to see a double up and triple up at some time here. But the rest of the world won't look so good, but your gold and silver and your platinum will keep up with the times. It'll keep you at least par as far as spending power goes, and the amount that your consumer spending ability goes. All right. If you sit with U.S. dollars, we have charts. Even the official charts show you that if you're sitting with U.S. dollars, they buy less and less and less monthly, and year after year, and decade after decade. They never go back up in the ability to buy more product. When they talk about dollar strength, it's what we talked about last night. Dollar strength simply indicates the dollar compared to other world turds. When I say turds, I meant fiat currencies like the dollar, fiat currencies like the euro, fiat currencies like, oh my gosh, I guess all the fiat currencies of the world out there. There's no currencies, U.S. dollars or any kind of money that's backed by gold and silver anymore. What country is backed by gold and silver? Zero, zip. We're in a fiat-driven world. That's why we're seeing everything go to hell in a handbasket economically. Again, centrally controlled too by the Federal Reserve. And private bankers, not the government, folks. Remember that. Never forget that. Let's take a look at the charts here, the 24-hour charts with gold and silver. It's going to be a short report tonight, folks. Not a lot to talk about that we haven't talked about a million times over. No new news. However, there's some good articles in ZH that talk about gold and silver, and I'd recommend that you go take a look there. But you're on your own on that one. I'm not going to read them to you tonight. Take a look at the spot gold price here, 1745, maneuvering up into that 1750 level. Midway right now in the aftermarkets. I think we're going to be closed pretty soon. In fact, let me just update this. Is this market closed? And yes, we are closed. The official close here until it opens in another hour or whatever it is 8:20 tonight. 1751.98, 1752, 1913 silver, and 878.31 platinum. I mean, it looks like it's trending upward, folks. Have we seen the end of low 19 silver and the lower 1700s gold? And platinum is just still hasn't got the bid above 900. So I really think platinum is a great deal at these prices. And one thing I haven't done in a little while, let me do this right now real quick, which is do the gold to silver ratio. Oh, hang on. 1,751.98 divided by 19.13 equals?
It's approximately 91.5828.
Woohoo, man, we're getting back up there in the gold and silver ratio being quite extreme, okay? 91 to 1, thereabouts. And if I had to say anything, I'd say that silver is just still overly cheap compared to gold. I mean, how far did they get gold down to in this last monkey hammering that the crooked markets did? What, 1720s or something like that, 1728, 1730? That's as low as they were able to get in gold. That's because that these criminal big commercial banks in the United States and don't have complete control over the gold markets. Gold markets are determined kind of worldwide, but when it comes to the silver market, the reason the silver market is so monkey hammered and tortured by these manipulative mother effers is because it's such a small market and it's mostly controlled by the CME group, the COMEX group, who I call the Crimex group in Chicago. That's where price discovery is made for silver, and that's where the criminal activity mostly occurs. And again, don't get me wrong. The Globex and the NYMEX markets, gold certainly is monkey hammered by big commercials that have huge amount of dollars. Commercial U.S. banks are huge, folks. They got many, many dollars to work with, dollars that are given to them for basically nothing. So they can go out there and monkey hammer in small markets like silver all the time. Gold markets, not so much, again, because gold is kind of a worldwide commodity, not just controlled in the Chicago CRIMEX markets. Not much to look at, folks, here. Just move along. So a low of 1898, a high of 1925. We're sitting at 1913. Silver, again, looks like it's bounced off that sub $19 level. Will we see sub $19 again? Tough to say. Never underestimate these crooked bastards. But if they do, just keep buying these dips if you're not bought in already. And if you are, just go fishing, go ride your motorcycle, go do something fun, hang out with the kids. Life is short. Enjoy yourself. Don't get hung up on these little short-time lulls. Unless, again, you're in a position to buy. Platinum just receiving no love, zero love, sub 900. You know, and they always say that the best time to buy any commodity is when it's just like got zero love. And I would find it hard-pressed to that anyone would argue with me that platinum is in that completely unloved category, just completely. I mean, we're at, you know, a long time lows for now. I mean, we saw mid 850s, but wow, platinum has just never really kind of recovered here. And in the past, platinum has always been around the price of gold, give or take a couple $100, but for quite some time now, just in the shitter. And what's the best time to buy an asset that's been around for thousands of years? I'd say now, when it's really low, 878. So I think platinum is a great deal out there, folks. Palladium, I don't follow it. Not many people buy a lot of it, but at some point, I guess palladium is going to be on my radar more and more, and the radar of customers out there when it starts making its moves upward again. 24-hour charts. The green line indicates today, last night's markets were in the evening, where we did see monkey hammering, whether in the London or the New York Globex markets. There you go, monkey hammering in the price of gold downward. And then in the middle of the day, in the CRIMEX markets, moves upward. Like I said, folks, these dips are just a great opportunity to buy. The upward momentum caused by this is well, you know, these silvers can't just stay sideways. The only way the criminals make money is if they move up and down. And of course, we all love the up movements. We hate the down movements. But really what we'd like to see is we would like to see the criminals not involved in either the up or down movements. We would like to see real supply and demand factors come into play with the price of gold and silver. And when that does, you know, all bets are off, folks. I have a feeling that silver is much, 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 much rarer than people really believe out there, especially above ground availability. Remember, availability versus what is truly above ground, you know, which exists above ground, is two different things. You know, if only 20% of the above ground available silver in the world is available for sale, that's called available silver. Just because silver exists above ground or maybe in landfills and stuff doesn't mean that it's available for sale, especially in the type of retailable products and COMEX and World Bank accepted, well, not World Bank, but accepted products by manufacturers in 1,000-ounce form. And folks, premiums on all this stuff have gone up. I wanted to talk about premiums too, because really, there are no best deals right now. As of right now, I believe that 1 ounce, 10 ounce, 100-ounce kilo bars are just across the board going to be scarce, hard to find, and the premiums are going to be up. Today was the last day of me being able to sell at the prices that I have been able to sell for the last couple of weeks now. Availability in ones, tens, hundreds, and kilos is pretty shitty right now. There's delays in deliveries. Apparently there's a big demand out there, still has been a big demand despite this being the dog days of summer and just slow. And is all that demand from the smaller investors? Maybe not. I got a sneaking suspicion that there's a large amount of physical silver, especially in larger size bars, hundreds and thousands, that is being sucked up by some source somewhere. Could it be SLV, as Ted Butler talks about, trying to pull in much physical silver as they can in the form of 1,000-ounce bars? Perhaps. Is it retail physical buying? No, it isn't, because the retail physical buying has slowed down on the smaller scale. But there's some big whales and there's some big people out there, and we got big customers here at commercial rare coins and precious metals and concierge bullion services that buy big amounts of gold and silver. So there's big buyers out there buying right now. The smaller retail guys have backed off a little bit. Can't blame them. Tough when you see that your pocketbook is shrinking a little bit because of inflation and the dumb shit things that the government and the economic people have doubled down on. What are the best deals out there, folks? Still 100-ounce bars if they're available, while they're available, and kilos, and then after that it's going to be 1-ounce bars and 10-ounce bars. I don't know why there's such a drag in the market for 10-ouncers. Maybe they're just harder to produce, or the generic guys that are producing are not putting them out as much. And I'm going to shamelessly plug my business here in a moment, so get ready for that. As far as gold goes, not the same. Silver seems to be in short supply in all the different size products, whether it's sovereign products like Silver Eagles, Maple Leafs. And by the way, Maple Leafs are the cheapest out there in all the sovereign products, except for Britannias. I got a good deal on Britannias, by the way. And I still have quite a bit of 1-ounce generics, 10-ounce and kilo bars in stock, but when they're gone, they're gone. And again, I believe the premiums are going to go up even more. And here's plugging my business. Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals, which is our brick and mortar store here in South Florida. We advertise to be Atmex, SD, and JM Bullion. They're the three 800-pound gorillas out there when it comes to precious metals that I would trust to even send my money to, because they're big, they're trustworthy, and their prices are really good. Are they the cheapest on the internet? No, but you're not going to have to worry about getting a fake product. You're not going to have to worry about them going belly up, shipping problems, whatever it is. They're good at what they do, and I will still beat them here in South Florida. If you need product, I'll beat their prices. I'll also, if for you guys out there that are buying larger quantities, 2,500 ounces or more in silver, 100 ounces or more in gold, I'll beat Atmex, SD Bullion, JM Bullion, and I'll beat Miles Franklin out there as well, run by a great gentleman, but I'll beat his prices as well. So if you're buying large or small quantities, please keep me in mind. I've been doing this since I was a kid. Good experience and all kinds of good stuff. All right, that's the end of my commercial. Thanks for following through with me. And again, I do these videos to educate you folks in the hopes of sharing what I know and sharing my experience and being genuine with you. I hope that you can share your business with me. So that's why I talk about this stuff mostly and do these videos every day. By the way, I'm going on vacation next week for a week. I might do some really, really short videos, but if you don't hear much of me, I'll still try to do the daily videos every day like I always do and have done for almost, 2.5 years now. But I will be out of town and my videos will be short next week. Let's see what happens with markets. It could be real interesting. Thank you. Absolutely no guns allowed on glass bottom boats. How to invest in what? Food. There's all kinds of things that we should invest in. Hauling truck out west. Water. Wow. Who would ever think that we'd be paying for water? And we are, folks. And that's what I was talking about, predators circling, like the video here I started out with. And where do we go? Here we go. The predators circling the masses, and the masses being us. We really are bait fish out there, folks. We don't have much control over the large predators. And the predators I'm talking about, again, are government. The predators I'm talking about are the media, who work hand in hand with the government. I'm not going to talk about parasites because we know who parasites are. And predators feed parasites in order to keep their power. So I'm getting really deep there. But this is more or less, where is it? What to invest in, and water. Who would have ever thunk that the predators would corner us into buying water? I remember as a kid, water came out of your faucet, it came out of your hose. You could drink it without worry pretty much in most cities, except for maybe parts of Ohio, Illinois, but okay, I digress. Thanks for the comment, Wharton, I appreciate that. NGC Love, nice to see you commenting as well. And CBDBC says, don't do what I did and buy Iraqi dinar. I know, I warned people about buying Iraqi dinar back then. And there's still people a couple years ago were buying Nigerian currency, all they're going to do is have a bunch of bookmarkers. Sorry to say that, but kind of true. But nobody ever listens to the expert like me until it's too late sometimes. No, I'm saying nobody. I'm glad you folks do. Bradley, the monkey hammer does exist, and it's mostly done in the criminal markets. Thanks for commenting, Bradley. Hope you have yourself a great week. Tim, we're supposed to keep up we pay for each coin in the house with a figure capital gains on it. Well, more or less, that's kind of true, Tim. When it comes to gold and silver products, technically speaking, if it's capital gains, it's just like if you purchased a rare car or whatever and you sold it and you made money on it, they want to know what you paid for it, and that's true with precious metals. Here at Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals and Concierge Bullion Services, we'll kind of guide you through all that, what receipts to keep. And just because you have receipts doesn't mean that you have to sell your gold and silver and pay taxes on it. If you want to have a one-on-one with me, I'll give you the whole deal on that. Silver Liner, what's up? And I'm glad you've been saving for a long time, because you're right, when bad money comes around, good money goes away. Last one, you should look, I saw we're kind of clear. All right, that's pretty funny. Never-ending correction. That's not true, BS Detective. It is, well, you're kind of right. It does seem like a never-ending correction. Gold, silver, $1 to $5, $1 to $5, $1 to $5, $5 to $10, $5 to $10, $5 to $10, 10 to 15, 10 to 15, 10 to... So, yeah, I kind of get that feeling. And again, that's exactly what's happening. But, you get wealth preservation here. You're not talking about something that pays a dividend or something that has gone up tremendously in value and does a double and triple and quadruple up. But that will probably happen with gold and silver in our lifetime if you're not too old, BS Detective. GNZ Prepper says, could you tell me what you think happened to the price of gold and silver if China's economy collapses? Well, I don't know. I'm not qualified to really talk about world economics when it comes to, but shit, half. What am I talking about? 90% of the people you listen to, even the ones that have college degrees that talk about this, aren't qualified to talk about this. They get it wrong more than I do. In my opinion, I think Chinese people are not, stupid. I think that when certain countries become enemies of ours, our country and our media tries to paint them as stupid, like they've done with Russia and other countries in the past. Whether you agree with them or not, a lot of them aren't stupid. And Chinese, and especially the people that live in these countries, Russian people in general are not stupid. They have their stupid people, no more, no less than the Americans do. China's the same way. China has a good, well-educated class, and I believe that if they start to see the collapse in the equities markets around them, if they start to see the collapse in the Chinese currency, if they start to see the collapse in real estate, that they will try to, and Chinese do a far better job. They've been around gold far longer than we have. They understand its 5,000-year role in history, in economics. So I believe that the price of gold will be stable. In fact, I think it would even say it would go up of the smart Chinese folks out there selling these stupid assets that they shouldn't be in, or falling or dropping assets, and getting into something that preserves wealth. And there's nobody that knows about preserving wealth better than the Chinese compared to Americans. Trust me on this. And again, I'm not saying one country is better than the other, but we've lived a life of luxury for such a long time. We haven't had to worry about wealth preservation, but we do now. And again, the Chinese understand gold and silver more than Americans do. Why? Tenfold. Let's see here. Silver follows gold. Maybe it's the other way around. Gold follows silver. No, silver does follow gold. Where gold goes, silver will ultimately follow. And that's why I genuinely believe that we've seen the price of gold kind of get knocked down a little bit in the COMEX markets. Maybe perhaps these big silver short positions figuring knocking gold down, they could make a few bucks, but it would also cause the price of silver to go down as well. Along with the bullshit narrative that treasuries are paying a real rate and that people are going to get out of gold and silver because they're paying a real rate. Let me move along from that because that's a whole subject I talked about last night. Thank you, Ultra. I appreciate that. Bojo, appreciate it. Man, I love people from UK. Before I got kicked off Facebook, I had a lot of friends from UK that I've not been able to reach. Somehow I got to get a hold of them, but I want to go out there and visit. It's a beautiful country that you have, Bojo, and thank you. I appreciate that. I hope I wouldn't get arrested for speaking my mind out there. 1,000 silver, I believe gold and silver get bashed down low in this economic class, maybe $9 to gold and silver. Man, from your lips to the gold and silver god's ears, I don't see it happening. If it did, I'd back up the truck for sure. And chances are, even if silver in the criminal markets ever got to $9, again, this is my opinion, you could be right. I never underestimate these criminals, but maybe if silver got to $9, I'm sure with the premium we'd be paying $29 for it. And gold, if gold got to $1,000, I'm sure we'd be paying $2,200 with the premium, because that would be such an artificial bullshit low price. And you're right, good luck finding physical when this happens. Soon silver will go to 1,000. Like you're thinking there, 1,000 silver, appreciate that. And folks, make sure you feel free to comment in the comment section here. A lot of smart people like this gentleman or lady, I'm not sure who you are, but whoever you are, I'm not going to assume your gender. Thanks for a great comment. Toby Ward said the billionaire lady believes in the reset will confiscate American metals. The billionaire lady, I haven't heard that she believes in the reset they'll confiscate non-American metal products. But you know what? If that is true, she believes a bunch of bullshit, because that's not true at all. They are never going to confiscate non-American metal products. I mean, if they're going to go that far, they would confiscate every product, including their own. But the fact is, they're not going to confiscate gold and silver, folks. It's just not going to happen. You know, it represents such a small part of American money. Most Americans don't own gold and silver. Most don't at all, okay? So they're not going to confiscate Americans' gold and silver. You know what they're going to confiscate? They're going to confiscate your pension plan. They're going to confiscate your 401k. They're going to confiscate your Social Security. That's what they're going to confiscate. They're going to do it with the stroke of a pen, and you can't say anything about it. It won't be gold and silver. Anyone that talks about gold and silver confiscation, I'd love to have a debate with them. I don't care who they are online. Let me at them. Let me discuss this, because they're either genuinely misunderstanding the whole situation on why we're never going to have gold and silver confiscation by the government, unless we get into, well, I'd get into that in a debate. But love to debate someone on that. Really, I don't care who they are. Love to debate them on that, and we'll pretty much pound their argument down into the sand. Coin AZ, what's up? Mark D songs and stuff. Security features on the new brand are very good. Not aware of any fakes of these yet. Don't trust security features. You know, most of them, you know, they might be good on the upfront, but there's always some freaker out, you know, a scumbag out there trying to figure out a way to defeat the security features. And if you just rely on security features alone, you're screwed. You got to rely on knowing what your product is, like I do and like others do. Thank you. Daniel says, when it came to the U.S. dollar, the only input we people had was inclusion of the phrase, "In God we trust," and boy, do we ever. What's up, Daniel? Thanks. Appreciate the comment there. Aiden Roberts says, silver is a popular commodity when it comes to making predictions. Here are some key factors that control the price of silver. A little down finger. Demand, industrial consumers, supply, geopolitical uncertainty, gold price, and financial stress. You know, I got to admit, I kind of disagree a little bit, Aiden. I guess, you know, in a market that was genuinely supply and demand, in a market that was honest, an honest marketplace, I would agree with you 100%. But we are not in an honest marketplace. We are in a marketplace that is driven, silver particularly, is driven by big collusive short positions in the COMEX markets, what I call the CRIMEX markets, owned by the CME group. Has nothing to do with supply, like you say here, has nothing to do with geopolitical uncertainties, has nothing to do with gold prices and financial stress. Because think about this. Despite the global issues, the wars we got going on, with the inflation, all this stuff, look what they've done to the price of silver. There is nothing natural about it. Silver is such a natural place that you absolutely know without doubt that this market, silver market, is being manipulated to the nth degree. And in the, again, CME groups, CRIMEX, COMEX markets, and this is not just my opinion, this is the opinion of people that are way smarter than me, like Ted Butler, who knows how to read these reports and explain them to the folks like us. But no, gold and silver, and particularly silver, you can't predict it based on demand. You can't predict it based on consumer and commercial demand. You can't predict it by supply, geopolitical uncertainties, because all these things are in full play right now, and silver is still in the shitter. Why? Because it's manipulated in a criminal marketplace where the price discovery is made. Thanks for commenting, Aiden. I really appreciate that. I am going to call it quits right now. Eat something. And as you know, I always say, think for yourself, question authority. And the only way you can do that is to question what you believe to be the truth is. Always question yourself before you question others. It's just the smart thing to do, because you know, we may be wrong. We're not infallible. And where we got our information and data may be incorrect. So always recheck and check your data before you question others. And it makes you, you know, once you've done that, it makes it so much easier to question other people. Once you think for yourself and come up for your own answers, your ability to question authority is, you know, you're from a 1 to 10, you're at the 8 to 10 level once you've done that. Hey, thanks for watching. This is Brian Kuzmar with Concierge Bullion Services. If you're buying more, if you live outside our area in South Florida here, and you're buying more than 100 ounces of gold, more than 2,500 ounces of silver, check out conciergebullion.com and give us a call. Our contact list right there. You can contact us through here, or you can call us between 10 and 4 Mondays through Fridays at 954-302-2046. Happy to help you out. Leave a message if there's no answer. We'll get back to you. And if you are not buying more than 2,500 ounces of silver and more than 100 ounces of gold, call us at Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in Lauderdale by the Sea. We're a brick and mortar store here in South Florida. We only deal locally. We don't do any shipping, unfortunately, but we will beat the price of all the locals down here, including APMEX, SD, and JM Online, who are great online sellers. And as I said, Miles Franklin will beat him on larger quantities as well. All great companies, by the way, that I just mentioned. I'm just highly competitive, and heck, why not? Hey, thanks for watching. Have yourself a great evening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye now.